Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized love, peace, and kindness to everyone, regardless of race, religion, and social standing. As Muslims, we are compelled to follow not only in the footsteps of our beloved Prophet, but the way of life he left behind. Assalamu alaikum and shukran for joining us on this week's An Nur the Light. Social working is a thankless profession on earth, but an immensely rewarding one in the hereafter. We spent some time in Durban with Shanaz Gabru, who is a credit to the social workers industry.
There are few professions nobler than that of the social worker. For most, making a difference includes sporadic acts of kindness when required. But for others, like Shanaz Gabru, making a difference is daily dedication to the safeguarding, development and upliftment of those who cannot do for themselves.
My first choice was not social work, it was veterinary science. But back in the day, you had to go away to become a veterinary surgeon. But I liked the interaction, so I then decided that I wanted to do social work. I went for career guidance counseling, and they said my next option was social work. And got into it, and when we got to in our third year, we do practicals, and that's when you actually go into people's homes, you do the home visits, and then you realize, you sit back and think, everybody's got a story to tell. Some people are really down and out, and they don't have an extended family or a support network to listen to. And there you come, people revel when the social worker comes, somebody to talk to. And that made me realize that I'm doing an important job. There's an important role for me to have in society. And it just grew from strength to strength from there.
When I married into the family, I realized that they have a lot of, love and what you care for underprivileged children, for animals. A very humble, very unique family. And the thing that inspired me a lot is that Shanaz was married before. They couldn't have any kids. And they adopted 2 orphan kids, and that really, really touched me.
Shanaz is a senior manager and acting director of Child Welfare Durban and District, a role she has played for the past 6 years. Her duties include coordinating staff development and training programs, drafting annual reports required by the Department of Social Development, and fundraising.
I've been a social worker for almost 20 years, and I started off with disabilities. I have to say I started off with disabilities. I was a provincial director for disabilities, and that was straight out of university. And at that time, I thought disabilities was the all and end all. And then I adopted my son, and I had to leave work. And I then realized that the childcare field seemed quite, being a mother then, the childcare field seemed quite attractive. And I started off at a children's home, as manager at a children's home. And when you see the kind of children that come into the facilities, the abused, the abandoned, the neglected, the ones that have no voice, you realize that I need to be an ambassador for them. I need to do something for them. And that is when I became very proactive in my social work. When you see a child that's been repeatedly abused, scars on their body, and they still look at you with so much of trust and love, and you think, you have to be there to do something for these children. The stories are very, very sad, the things that we come across, but being able to have the offender prosecuted for something like that and to set an example for child care and child protection is what makes me go on now.
She also oversees the management of 4 child and youth care centres, including the William Clark Otanweni Child and Youth Care Centre, the Edith Benson Child and Youth Care Centre, and the Lake Haven Zamani Child and Youth Care Centre. Her key function at Child Welfare Durban and District is to ensure that all of the policies and procedures of these youth care centres are adhered to, ensuring effective service is delivered to the often vulnerable young people these centres serve.
We have 3 child and youth care centres. One is a baby's home, one caters for children between 6 and 18. And then we have, 2 actually cater for children between 6 and 18. And the third one is a home for boys who previously lived on the street, so a home for ex-street kids. So any child that comes into these facilities has got to be found to be a child in need of care. That means social worker, we have in Child Welfare Durban District, we have our community services, leg of services, which if somebody calls and says, here's a child that's being abused, they will go and investigate. If you find that the child is being repeatedly abused, the child needs to be removed to a safe environment, they go to the Children's Court, where the Commissioner of Child Welfare determines that the child needs to come into the home. So my job then is to manage the 3 managers of the 3 child and youth care centres to ensure that the children have proper meals, clothing, education, that their spiritual needs are attended to in all aspects of their life. It's like you would care for a child in their own environment. And of course, at the same time that this is happening, we try to reunify the child back to a family member, extended or otherwise, related or unrelated, or put the child up for adoption if you realize that the route to the family is not worth exploring, that the child will still be a child in need of care if we remove them back to their families.
This is the woman who puts practice to what she preaches. Her children Yusuf and Zahra are both adopted and she considers herself truly blessed.
For whatever reasons, we're unable to have our own children, and when my son was adopted, when the Mufti had come to do the adhan in his ear, the Mufti said to me that, do you know when this child's ruh was created, Allah has already determined that he was going to come to your home, that you were going to be his mum. And that for me has impacted. I mean, my children are like my very own. My daughter I adopted her from the Edith Benson Babies Home. So, I believe that she was there for a reason and I was there for a reason at the stage, and we met in that way. And being a child welfare also, we have so many children at our child and youth care centers that are needing families. So my role, I believe that Allah has placed me here in child welfare because I'm able to persuade people to go the adoption way. So just my story to these parents is very motivational and inspiration to them as well.
She's got a fantastic heart, very giving heart, strong personality in the sense that she can work with any type of people. She doesn't really bring problems home. She doesn't accept defeat. Shanaz never accepts defeat. She will always come through, and whatever it is, whether it's regarding kids or families that are underprivileged or regarding home matters, she doesn't give up.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "There are many doors to goodness, enjoining good, forbidding evil, removing harm from the road, guiding one to the object of his need, hurrying with the strength of one's legs to one in sorrow who is asking for help, and supporting the weak with the strength of one's arms." Shanaz is living proof of this.
There can be no better reward than seeing a child smile, and Shanaz does this on an almost daily basis. Next up is our books, tech and app segment.
From food blogger to published author, Salwa Smith has expanded her online presence with her first published recipe book, Cape Malay Cooking and Other Delights, a culmination of 20 years of dreaming, writing and preservation of cultural memory. Salwa's cookbook is a must-have for any foodie looking to put a spin on old traditions. Salwa's collection of recipes has been handed down from generation to generation, beginning with her grandmother, and includes recipes for starters, main meals and desserts. Along with a desire to preserve her family legacy, Salwa believes that Cape Malay cooking is for everybody, and given her global following, Salwa's cookbook has something for everyone. The Islamic Photo Frames app for Android is a free app that allows you to embellish your special memories. With this editing software, you can personalize your photos with unique religious designs, from Islamic border designs to beautiful screen decorations. Why not add a distinctive style to your treasured memories? Quell Pain Relief is a revolutionary new technology for the effective relief of chronic pain, a wearable device clinically proven to tap into the body's natural pain control system. It is 100% drug-free and safe for use during the day while active and at night while sleeping. A tiny device that can be activated by a simple click of a button. If you suffer from debilitating chronic pain, this is the technology for you.
This year's World Health Day focus is on diabetes, and with 6% of the South African population affected by it, we decided to find out more.
Over 3.5 million South Africans suffer from diabetes and many more remain undiagnosed. An estimated 5 million people have prediabetes with glucose levels that are higher than normal. The World Health Organization estimates diabetes will be the 7th leading cause of death by 2030.
Well, diabetes is a medical condition where the body, and specifically the pancreas, cannot make enough insulin. Now, insulin is the hormone in the body that actually takes away sugar levels, and when we talk of sugar, we talk of glucose. It takes away the sugar and glucose levels out of the blood and stores it into different organs, such as a muscle, such as a liver, so that it can be utilized afterwards. So what happens is that, yes, it sounds like you have a lot of sugar in your blood and in your body, but it's in a form that can't be used efficiently and specifically for what it is needed for. And this is what causes all the problems with diabetes. Okay, the biggest danger of diabetes that we face in South Africa is that we actually diagnose it too late. From the time that a person develops diabetes till when we actually diagnose the condition, mostly it takes up to 7 years. And it's not that the doctors are taking long or the nurses are taking long to actually diagnose it. It is that patients don't realize they're getting it. Person feels unwell, they can't do the amount of exercise they used to do. They're losing a bit of weight. They're waking up at night to go to the toilet to pass urine. They're passing more urine than normal. They realize that they're drinking a bit more water than normal, but they don't realize that it's a medical condition that they need to seek urgent attention for.
Lifestyle choices continue to contribute to these alarming numbers as increased sugars and little exercise become part of our routines.
If someone comes to me for counseling about diabetes, I would explain to them in depth what is diabetes, what is the consequences of having high blood sugar levels on the body, so that they understand, then that will help them to make proper choices, and which foods contain sugar, which foods don't contain sugar, so they can have a balanced diet with regards to that, and controlling their portions with the foods that contain sugar in, so that they can perfectly balance out the blood sugar levels and to always be in the, or most of the time, be in the normal range, and that is the goal. The most common challenges that patients with diabetes would face would be their lack of knowledge of the foods that they eat, and that would definitely cause their blood sugar levels to increase, which is the main problem for diabetics.
The Islamic Medical Association has been actively involved in community education for many years. By partnering with medical company Lilly and Gatesville Masjid al-Quds, addressing diabetes has been a main focus through workshops at the mosque and educational talks. The initiatives aim to help diabetics manage the disease and ensure they make good choices, especially during the month of Ramadan.
The initiative is there. Yes, there are dangers to fasting during the month of Ramadan for diabetics, but there are things that we can do to make sure that these complications and the dangers don't arise. And this is where the IMA has taken on the initiative to educate our diabetics how to fast safely during Ramadan. And the initiative is not just with the IMA, it's with a medical company as well. It's Lilly, which produces insulin in South Africa and distributes it. They've partnered with us, and what we've done is the following. You know, firstly, the Islamic Medical Association, the IMA, goes to mosque. We go actually on a large scale, have diabetic education programs for those who want to fast during the month of Ramadan. We have doctors speaking there about how to implement changes. For example, if you're on medication like tablets, or how to adjust the doses during the month of Ramadan. If you are on insulin, also how to adjust the doses. More importantly, what to eat, what not to eat, because the fasting month is actually a month of learning self-restraint. So it's a twofold issue. It's firstly to educate the diabetics about the medical condition, but also to implement a healthier lifestyle.
Whilst diabetes threatens one's well-being, it is not a death sentence. It is a disease that can be managed through proper treatment and lifestyle changes.
To manage diabetes, number one is your eating habits. Number two, you'll have to do exercise, walk, and concentrate on your diet. That is the most important thing. When it's Ramadan, I manage quite well because in the morning I eat well and healthy, and then during the day I'm busy with my work, and then in the evening then I just break my fast with like whatever it is there, but I don't eat like, you don't break your fast with like very oily and all that. I break my fast with fruit and dates.
What is very important for diabetics to know is that you can be healthy and diabetic. Diabetes is not, a life sentence that will end your life. It can be if you allow it to get like that. So if you are diagnosed with diabetes and you have the proper knowledge on what to do, whether it's regards to your medication, your change in lifestyle and your diet, all of that together brings about you becoming healthy and diabetic.
Do any of you have the desire to jump out of a plane at 8,000 feet? I'm not sure if I'd want to do that, but in this week's travel segment, we find out more about skydiving, amongst others.
There can be far less better ways to get your adrenaline pumping than by just jumping out of a plane. For those who dare, the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands is just the place to do this.
Durban Skydive Centre is a place where people come to train to learn to skydive, and also we offer tandem skydiving, which is an introductory skydive where people can come and have a short lesson and then jump with an instructor. Most people, it's mainstream media now that skydiving is seen, YouTube, on the television, etc. And people want to experience it, and it's out there for them to experience now.
Skydiving must rank as one of the craziest things to do, but it is an adventure one is sure to remember for a long time afterward, and it can be quite addictive.
It's very easy. Skydiving is a very forgiving sport in the terms of health. You don't need to be an athlete, you don't need to be able to run 10 miles, you don't need to do 20 press-ups. It's very easy on the body, and as you'll see from some of the footage, that even the landings are very easy.
Rigorous safety protocols are in place before anyone can jump, and parachutes are checked and rechecked according to international standards.
As long as we've got enough people to fill the airplane, obviously it's the same as a commercial airline, that we do need a certain amount of people to fill the airplane. Qualified skydivers turn up, they put their name on the board, they book a flight, and they go up and jump.
This is most definitely one of the most exhilarating thrills anyone can undertake. Why not take a leap of faith into the drop zone and experience it all for yourself? Chef Ismail Abi has slowly but surely been building a loyal following with his decadent and delicious meals that are created to tantalize taste buds of all who sit down here.
Okay, Canvas Grill, built-up restaurant, family restaurant, where we do fusion food. So we're mixing different cultures with your Eastern mixed with your West, and we create our dishes that way. Okay, the name Canvas Grill came from a blank canvas, and that is what we're all about, creating and masterpieces. So we create our own masterpieces.
The menu gives one an idea of what to expect, as it sets out to create a masterpiece in every meal they serve.
We've got a basic king clip on the menu, we've got a slow-cooked lamb shank on the menu, we do your prawns, we do a creamy style prawns, we do a normal grilled prawns as well. So there is a variety on the menu. It's a different food experience completely. It's a burst of flavors in your mouth. And we custom build each and every menu item in order to blow our customers' minds away.
Durban has become the halal food capital of South Africa, with innovative foods being prepared by some of the best chefs around. The 21-meter-high Umhlanga Lighthouse has been in existence since 1954 and acts as a beacon warning ships of the impending coastline. At one time, it was occupied by a lighthouse keeper, but this has since changed and the lighthouse is fully automated. This lighthouse was necessary when the old Bluff Lighthouse ran into disrepair. Its red signal light acts as both a warning and beacon to ships who are entering the bay and harbour further down. Umhlanga is a popular holiday destination, and the area has become quite populous over time. The area around the lighthouse is popular with early morning walkers, runners, or just people out to get some fresh air and exercise. In the build-up to the 2010 World Cup, the area around the lighthouse had an upgrade and has become quite the tourist attraction.
That looked like so much fun. I'm actually going to add skydiving to my bucket list. Please send us comments or suggestions of what you'd like to see on our show. Until next time, I'm Mariam Mukonda. Salang Hantle. Assalamu alaikum.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك. In the shade of the Kaaba we all come together from the corners of the earth. We all want to prosper, but mercy Allah you have bestowed on your creation. Labbaik Allah, I'm present Allah. Labbaik Allah, I'm present Allah. Labbaik, labbaik, labbaik Allah. Labbaik, labbaik, labbaik Allah. Labbaik, labbaik, labbaik Allah. Labbaik, labbaik, labbaik Allah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. We be good to mothers, our problem to fathers, ignorant to brothers, and unjust to our sisters. Wallah, please forgive us and enlighten our hearts. Wallah, please forgive us and show us the straight path. Accept all our efforts and grant us our du'as. O merciful Creator, you are our Rahman. We ask for your guidance and plead for your aid. Tonight our hearts and increase us in faith. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Labbaik Allah, I'm present Allah. Labbaik Allah, I'm present Allah. Labbaik, labbaik, labbaik Allah. Labbaik, labbaik, labbaik Allah. Give us the ability to hold tight to your rope, Allah. Help us follow the sunnah of Muhammad Mustafa. Send your peace to him every time a new life grows, and keep us as his followers on the day that we will go. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad. Peace of Allah